What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you so much for tuning in. It's me, Mikey Pipes. 6:12 here in the great communist state of New York. It is Wednesday, June 3rd, 2026. Building myself a Mikey Pipes surge protection device here. It's I think I've mastered how to build these with efficiency and also in neatness. Not the saying they haven't been neat this whole time along, but we are making a lot of progress. Before I start talking about this and showing you what I'm building here, if you haven't seen this before, today we're doing something special. Yesterday we did something really special. We put in a toss it in the trash ductless mini split system. I don't know if you ever heard of them. Toss it in the trash. Great wall hung junk. It really is. Wall hung junk, because the outdoor unit, once you spend 2 hours building the wall mount bracket, well, it finally lets you hang it on a wall. And as far as instructions, let me tell you something. If you were Ray Charles, you probably could have done a better job than I did putting this in yesterday. What a big piece of garbage. Toss it in the trash ductless mini split system. Oh, it's to sew. Oh, I knew I was thinking something wrong here. I gotta tell you, folks, this to sew was disgusting. The lines that they gave us must have been in metric and not in US, because the walls were a little bit thinner and I couldn't flare. I had to get a zoom lock fitting, flare fitting from my shop in order to hook it up. There was no directions or measurements or template to where the wall mount bracket goes to hang the wall mount unit, the evaporator, and drill a hole to outside. So you had to use your noggin, right? And the connections that go where you plug in the wiring on the outdoor unit. Well, this that little plate that screws down that you push down. Let's say that wasn't big enough, so you had to use spade connectors. But the highlight of it was the wall mount bracket. That wall mount bracket, I think Gio and I spent about almost an hour putting it together. The biggest hunk of junk I've ever seen in my life, in my opinion. Biggest piece of shit that deserves a shot of espresso. I just say Gio, I meant Derek. I've been calling Derek Gio, by the way. So, today we got something special. Today, we are going to be putting in this over here. Let me show you. Not the Harrow bidet toilet. That's going in my house. This is the U.S. boiler, Burnham Alta. It's this right here. It's this. U.S. boiler, Burnham Alta, wall hung tankless combi, single zone. We're going to use it for domestic hot water, space heating. We're going to do the venting and all the piping, and we'll get it done. And we're giving the client, the homeowner, a receipt for $0. That's right, folks, $0. Not that someone else has paid for it. Well, technically someone else has. But this family is getting this system installed for free. They reached out to us about a month ago on pipesforfree.org with a recommendation of a neighbor. They're in a bad spot financially. An older couple, their savings got wiped out after Superstorm Sandy in October 2012. Imagine being newly retired. You finally pay off your house or whatever. You're enjoying the golden years of your life, and then a hurricane comes in, and no one had flood insurance back then. Now everyone does, because that 100-year storm finally came. And they got wiped out financially, and they've been struggling to manage since then. And one of the things that they did after Sandy is they had to replace the boiler. And their company that they were working with, put in another oil-fired boiler, and they converted it to gas, about, 6 or 7 years ago, with a conversion done by Carlin. I think it's an easy burner by Carlin. And but now the boiler developed a crack in it, and it's leaking water most of the time. Not all the time, most of the time. You know what I mean? It's one of those things like, how is a crack not a crack? But it is. So they reached out to us like, Mikey Pipes, if you can help us at all, we would be very, very grateful to you. So they filled out a grant application. My board reviewed it. And I don't want to go into specifics, but listen, if you're an older couple, just you and your wife, and you just have your property taxes and some little expenses, you could be all right, you could be all right. But they're in a hard spot. So I reached out to my rep, Chris Massey at US Boiler Burnham. This guy right here. That guy right here. I reached out to him and I said, maybe you guys would want to be interested in this. My nonprofit, the Mikey Pipes Philanthropy organization, we're going to donate. We're going to do the job. But you know how much I love US Boiler Burnham Alta. Let's, if you guys could either, discount one, or if you want to supply one for this project, I would be very humbled. And it took them a hot minute, about 24 hours to get back to me. I think it was a couple days, actually. And because we would love to help. I'm like, wow, that is awesome. That is awesome. It reminds me of a time of years ago, our first major project that we did for the organization, where we went to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Me and Peter. And Bosch donated heat pump equipment, a furnace, the outdoor heat pump, and the material to install it. We got a local contractor, I forgot his name, every so often. Justin? I think his name is Justin. Let me see, is it Justin? Sorry, I'm going to rant and rave right now, but Justin, yeah. His name is Justin. Let me find out what company he is, because I just want to see if he needs some love. Google love. Let me just Google this number. I can't find it. I don't remember. I have to look it up. You know what? I'm going to look it up right now. Bear with me, folks. Bear with me. Wow. April. Where is it? There it is. April 8th, 2023. This is it. Justin and Craig at Precision. Oh, they actually have a Google thing here. Look at this. Justin and Craig at Precision Heating and Cooling. Let's see. Place details. Oh, what happened? They don't have a Google page anymore? Oh, man. What happened? Shucks. And there's my review. And there's the job. They did a fantastic job, by the way. They really did. Oh, man. I'm going to text Justin right now. Hey, Justin. Good morning. It's me, Mikey Pipes. It does it too, by the way. Look at that. I was just talking about you on my latest uncensored video. What happened to your Google My Business profile page for Precision Cooling and Heating? I don't see it. Oh, man. Hopefully he's still in business. Maybe change the company name. Maybe he... Maybe he did prematurely, like all of us tradesmen do, retire. He's a young guy, but you never know. You never know. I got to tell you something, even if I won the lottery, I think I talked about this before. Man, it's going to be fun here at Pipe Doctor. If I was blessed with, it would have to be north of like $40 to $60 million endowment. If I had a $40 to $60 million endowment, think about this, folks. At a modest 5% interest, like a triple tax-free municipal fund, right? Muni bond, sorry. 40 million is $2 million a year just in interest alone, tax-free. So what I would do, it would be pipes for free. Literally, you call us, the job's completely free. No cost, no nothing. You got to meet some qualifications, though. You got to, or whatever, or maybe not. Just everything would be free. And called free plumbing and heating and cooling. That would be awesome. That would really, really, really be awesome. $40 million endowment. Put that in the bank. And the $2 million a year that the fund generates would pay for all of the expenses, including material, for the company. And it wouldn't even have to get to that, because if we go around doing free HVAC services and plumbing services to those just a little down their luck, or listen, I know there's a need for it because you have so many of these like payday advance loans. You have all these title loan places, not in New York though. Man, you could sell your blood. I know there's demand for it because people are in rough shape. Not everyone. Listen, the economy is doing great right now, but there's some people just to get left behind, and it sucks. It really does. It's the haves and have-nots. But if I had, listen, if I win $60 million, I'm putting $20 million away from me and the family for generational wealth, and I can easily live off $1 million a year, easily, right? So you put $20 million away in the bank, investing in muni bonds, 5% tax-free, that's $1 million on $20 million in the bank, right? I could easily do that. And now you take $40 million, and now that's going to generate $2 million a year, and you have this organization that just does free HVAC mechanical services, like salaries for the team would be covered, and we wouldn't have to grow or expand. But I'll tell you one thing though, you'd get a boatload of manufacturers and a boatload of people wanting to participate. That would be fucking awesome. That would be really fucking awesome. And I think my account would have a field day with that. Like, Mikey Pipes can't do this. Like, why not? Why not? If I have an endowment, right, of $40 million sitting in the bank for a nonprofit organization, and all we do is free services, right? Fucking awesome. I wouldn't have almost 200,000 subscribers on the Mikey Pipes Pipe Doctor YouTube channel, right? Wouldn't have that. I'd have millions. Look at that, folks. Holy shit, 199,017 subscribers. Yeah, I'm covering up the estimated revenue for the last 28 days. You don't gotta know everything. But I'll tell you this, it's substantial. And I gotta tell you this, whatever, we're gonna leave that alone. You can understand what 1 million views a month on average brings in revenue, for ad revenue, that play while you're watching this. Wow, we hit 199,000 subscribers. Wow. And 17. 199,017 people. Not even this channel you're watching right now. This is the main channel. This is the fuck you channel, where I can say F you, F you, and F you to all the trolls out there that just, like to pull people down that are higher up on the ladder than they are, right? I want to help you guys up. Let me pull you guys up. No, you guys don't want any help. You guys want to pull people down. You guys are the real The socialists down there. Down there. Come on. Come on. Come on. Let me get your thoughts and feedback. What would you do? Forget about winning the lottery. What would you do? What would you do with $1 million right now? She's doing okay. I guess she has it, right? It's kind of random when some weirdos ask you, what are you doing with $1 million right now? Okay, let me finish this. All right, so let me show you what we got going on here. This is going to be one of the last, there's about 5. So I have one there ready to go. This is going to be ready later. We're going to have these 3 and these 2. But one of them, towards the end, and it's probably going to be, it's probably going to be this one. I like this box. Probably going to be that box with that, maybe. No, we're going to have to use, this is what we're going to do. Let me show you what we're going to do, folks. So we're going to take the power monitoring, and surge all in one box. All right. This is what they're going to end up looking like, with a variation of this as well off to the side. I got plenty of surge protectors. Thank you, ACIQ. I love you guys. And Kevin, thank you so much. I love you guys. Over at Brock Air Products, thank you. $175 to $205, depending on what size whip you want. If you want 10 gauge or 12 gauge. So 12 gauge goes up to 20 amps. So if you have a ductless system, things like that. If you're something a little bit bigger, this is for you. You'll get the 10 gauge. I have 6-foot and 10-foot whips. The standard, which is what this is kind of, with 12 gauge, 6-foot whip is $175, and 100% of all proceeds go to my nonprofit. So think of it as a tax deductible donation, but you're getting this. And I know there's some legality behind that because you're receiving a product. So it's technically not a write-off, but when you buy one of these things, recognize that it's going to a good cause. All right, guys, it is 6:30. I need to prepare for this install, pull some material. We didn't build it on the board, but the board is painted right there. There's a piece of plywood. The Warboard looking kind of rough this week. I only got one this week. Let me see. Hold on. The Warboard. Oh, James got one too. Hold on. We need to update this. Hold on. Yeah. Okay. So James got one this week as well. So this is the maintenance agreement Warboard. This is where we track our goal of 2,000 active maintenance agreements within the company. Right now we have 375, which is 18.75% to our goal. You could see that, hasn't been great this last 4 weeks. Sometimes, we get quite a few. Sometimes we don't. But we are slow and steady getting there. Put it this way, in end of January, we had around just about 200. So we gained 175. We're almost doubled what we had since the beginning of the year, which is really, really, really nice. And it's a great incentive for the team because every maintenance agreement that they sign up, $20 in their pocket. You help the client, you help the company, you get paid. Ask, educate, sign, get paid daily. If you guys are in the trades, as an owner or as a manager, I highly recommend you build value with your company, build your brand in your community, and offer maintenance agreements to your clients. If you would like some additional information on how to get started with that and how to price it out, I do offer private video consultations, either on the phone or by FaceTime, what have you. $120. Yeah, 125 for half an hour of my time. Exclusively yours. We'll talk about anything you want, but if you want to learn how to do that, by all means. Or there are tons of resources online to help you build maintenance agreements and offer more value to your clients. Remember this, folks, as I close. If you get a pricing complaint from a client, it's almost always the lack of perception of value. Remember that. Get to the next one. Be well, God bless, stay safe.